very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to walk through all our fears. For Spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough peace for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to walk through all our fears. For Spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room.
Thank you. Good morning, how are you?
Great.
Okay. My name is Robert. I'm a practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living in Palm Springs. I'm also a ministerial student with the Holmes Institute, and I've just returned from our yearly ministerial student retreat. It was held in Breckenridge, Colorado, and there were over 120 of us from all around the world that met and exchanged ideas. It was a lot like a Cellamore, except on steroids. We went from 6 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. We did all kinds of things, but basically what we did was we sang, we clapped, we danced, we hugged, we laughed, we cried, and we ate. But we also talked about our centers, and one of the things that I really brought away with me from that retreat was that our center, our core council, our ministerial staff, our practitioners, and all of our volunteers, we are on the forefront of this movement. It was just so apparent to me. Many of the speakers that we had were from Mile High Center in Denver, and that facility seats over 1,500 members per service, and they have several services per Sunday, every Sunday. But yet, they are the same place that we are. You just have bigger things. That's all it is. So I'm so proud to have represented this center. And I know that our sense of community, the feeling of love that we share here, our high consciousness that we have, will continue to build in keeping with the principles of science and mind, because that's what we're all about. And it's to each of every one of you here sitting right now that this is possible. And so I just want to say from my heart, thank you. Just thank you. It was truly an experience. I'm not the regular scheduled practitioner for today. Reverend Doug is supposed to be here, but he has another assignment. So I'm substituting for him. And it was kind of strange how this all came about. If you believe in synchronicity, you'll understand all of this. One of the classes that I'm taking for my ministerial studies is called Contemporary Applications. And in Contemporary Applications, we list all of the appearances that seem to be facing us. things like abortion, homelessness, poverty, you get the idea. And we came up something like a list of 200 of these appearances. And one of my assignments was to go see the movie Contagion. Contagion, anyone see it? Okay. Well, Contagion's about a pandemic that strikes the world. Similar to the flu breakout, but it is about how people go into fear when they have lost all the confidence, lost all their faith. And what happens here is that we find that this particular document, this particular movie, shows that without that faith, we can go into a behavior, we can go into an attitude, a way of life that is not conducive to what we here in Science of Mind believe. It was just coincidental, we call it synchronicity here, that today's topic, Reverend Michael's topic, is fear. So that's the synchronicity that shows up in my life right now. Here I'm dealing with fear and how to work through it through this movie, and Dr. Michael is going to be talking to you about fear today. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Fear is the antithesis of faith. It is the negation of confidence. Like faith, fear may be conscious or subjective, and if it is to be eliminated, it must be removed both consciously and subjectively." So how do we do this? Well, for me, I practice a life of active faith. The faith of God, not merely a faith in God. I know that divine law can make all things possible when I believe and work in conformity with the universal mind. So no matter what those appearances are out there, I cling to the knowledge that God is good and God is all. I turn from the false evidence that appears real and seek the truth, which is real. So with a little music, let us go into meditation. Make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes if you wish. Take a few deep breaths and center into that heart space, that special place where you connect with the divine. Feel the loving presence of Spirit as it wraps itself around each of us, surrounding us, engulfing us. That love moves in us, around us, and through us. This love is the essence of who we are. This is Spirit manifesting in us, around us, as us. This is the love that joins us together in the oneness in this community called Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Springs. This is the love that is demonstrated through every volunteer that makes this center work, through every practitioner that holds the consciousness, through our ministers who provide the loving teachings, through the members of the Court Council who lovingly give of their time to govern our center, and to each and every one of you, every member and visitor sitting here today who are saying yes, yes to living the principles of love. For this, I am truly grateful. And as we move yet deeply into that sacred heart space, we'll take a few minutes in the stillness to acknowledge that God's presence is the individualization of each of us.